another episode of May May Made It. Now tonight is going to be a little different. I'm going to make something, but I'm going to use a neat little contraption to do it. This is the Keurig Vue 700. This is something that I got for being part of houseparty.com. I was chosen to be a Keurig Vue house party hostess, and for doing that I received the coffees and the machine and lots of different things for my party guests. And I haven't actually had my party yet. I want to do this review for you guys because I've had it for about a week now, and I'm excited to show you what all it can do. And then I'll put a blog post up and let you know how my party goes. But let's talk about the machine for a second. This is the next generation of the Keurig, and I had the previous version of this, and I loved it. I used it for everything. All of my visitors used it. I loved it because I'm not a pot of coffee drinker or brewer. I'm really good with the 1 cup. Now what makes this one interesting is that it has a 74-ounce water reservoir on this side. So that holds more water than the other machines hold, and one of the reasons is because it will brew in, I think it's 8 different brew sizes. I'm going to show you how that works too. So this is where the water goes in the side, and you actually lift this little lever up to put the water inside. So that's interesting too. In previous versions this whole piece has lifted off, and so I think this is really neat. Now, there's many differences, let's say that, many differences. Some of them are the actual cups themselves. If you have the previous generation of the Keurig, this is the cup that it used. You notice it has the aluminum top, the plastic container, and it's all sealed together into one, and this holds the product inside. That's what the previous cup looked like. The new cups look like this. And I've punctured this one already. I just wanted to show you. They come not punctured, but the new cup looks like this. It has this little peely tag, and what makes this cup different is it's better for the environment. What happens is when you finish brewing, and I'm going to show you when I finished, when you finish brewing, you peel this little tab off, and it releases the inside, which is the filter and the tea ground, into that little container, and now you only throw this away. You throw this piece away, and you recycle this cup in your recycle bin, or how you want to recycle it. So that's something new about the product, which is really neat. So that's a used cup, what it looks like. Now, I'm going to show you a lot of different things tonight. It does a lot. Now, it is a very hefty machine. It weighs 13.1 pounds according to the book. I did not put it on a scale, but according to the manual it's 13.1 pounds, and it is significantly more expensive, but I do think it's worth it because you're not getting one coffee brewer. You'll see as we go just exactly what you're getting. And this one, when I looked it up on the internet tonight, which is May of 2012, it was $249.99. So that's where we are so far. So now I'm going to take you into different products and show you some of the features. Some of the cool things about this machine that are a little bit different from the previous generations. One is the power button is here in the back, which is pretty neat. The other power button, if you remember, was kind of at the front of the machine, or at least on the last one that I had it was. Also, this is a touch screen now, as opposed to what was there before with the kind of digital looking screen. And the really neat thing I want to show you is right here in the corner there's a little I or info spot. And I'm just going to touch that. This is a very responsive screen. You don't have to touch it hard. Notice here you can set your time and your temperature. Let's look at time. Time is really neat because you can set the clock. You probably saw the clock on the first screen, but you can come in here and tell it what time it is. You can see here what time it is now, and you can tell it to set it. Once you set your time, you can choose analog or digital. I'm going to use analog and set on, and it takes me back to the menu screen for the time. Also, this is a neat feature, energy saver. I've set my energy saver to turn the machine off if I haven't used it in 1 hour. I think that's plenty for me, and I'm the only one who really drinks coffee, so I think that works fine. So that's set for 1 hour, and then we'll go back to the menu. Now I'm going to arrow all the way back and show you another extremely cool feature, temperature. With this brewing system, you can set your temperature from 187 degrees to 197 degrees. If you are a person that likes a hot cup of coffee, this is the machine for you. And maybe you're someone that likes kind of a lukewarm cup of coffee, you also can get it there too with the 187. Now I have mine at 193. I think that's where it came set. I can't really remember, but when I was playing with it, I kind of feel like that's what I saw, so I just kind of left it there. Now you can change it by using the plus and minus button here. It's pretty simple to use. I'm going to arrow back and back to the beginning. Okay, for the first thing I'm going to show you tonight, I want to show you how to brew iced tea. And I got to be honest with you, this is one of my favorite features. And this, and you guys know I'm a Southern girl, right? This Southern sweet tea, which I've already punctured one time, but the Southern sweet tea, I'm all about this. Now, it's not sweet when you brew it. You do have to put sweetener in it, but here's how I do it. The first thing I do is I take this part out. This piece comes out so you can have an extended room for a glass or a travel mug or anything. So I remove this piece, and then I take a glass, and my helper is going to hand it into the screen. Check that out. I take a glass filled to the brim with ice. You're going to need it because it's going to melt it, but it's only going to melt about half, and I'll show you how that works. I also, if you can see, and you may not can in the bottom, there's some, I've already put my sweetener in because I feel like it really melts really good if you put it in underneath the ice. So then I'm going to place that where it goes. This is the brew carriage. This is where you're going to put your product, your Vue cup. So I'm going to place it in. If you notice, it has the perfect shape, so you know exactly how to put the Vue cup in. It just lays like that. Now, it pierces in two places. The other machine did too, but it pierced at the top and the bottom. This one, from my understanding, and I could be wrong, and you guys can correct me if I am, the water, I believe, shoots into this hole, and your product dispenses from here. Now, the other cool thing, when you're using one of these Vue cups, it'll have a picture at the bottom. When you get to the machine and it's time to brew, you're kind of going to use that picture to guide you as to which thing to use. So now that we have the Vue cup in place, let's close the carriage. And this now lights up for us. Now, like we said, I'm doing iced tea, and this matches that blue picture that I showed you just a minute ago. But if I were doing coffee, I could do it here. If I was doing a cafe drink, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, I'd do it here. So let's touch iced tea. Now, in this product, you can brew something stronger. I'm just going to use the iced tea feature, and I'm going to come to the bottom, and I'm going to choose an 8-ounce glass because that's what my cup holds. This is neat. You can change it down to 6 ounces all the way to 10 ounces in iced tea. So again, an 8-ounce glass. And all we do now, and I love this, is press this brew button right here. And when I press this, you'll be able to see what happens underneath. And you're thinking that's a lot of ice, but that water is very hot coming out. Looks good already. Looks good and southern. This machine, and some of the research I did, it knows how to brew the product you put in based on what you choose. So it knows how to brew this tea. And look how perfect that is. It is exactly the right amount. And look. Half of the, yes, definitely, half of the ice is gone, but this drink is completely brewed, and I'm going to stir it up because my sweetener's at the bottom. And that is ready to go. So there's the iced product. Now this iced tea for me is not too strong because I like a strong tea, but we did a little practice this weekend, and my husband brewed a second glass through the same cup that I used. And all you have to do that is just lift the carriage again as if you were putting in a new one, and then close it down, and it doesn't know the difference if it's new or not, and you can start brewing again. And it worked really well for him. It wasn't too weak for him. So if you like a weaker tea, or if you want to get 2 out of 1, try that. Okay, and now I want to show you the Cappuccino feature. Now this is really cool, and it is unique so far to the Keurig Vue as far as the previous generations. To do Cappuccino, they come in a box, and they come 8 of the frothers here and 8 of the Italian roast coffees here. This is pretty neat. You have step 1 and step 2. Now this is going to be your milk, or the creamy frothy part, and this is going to be the coffee part. And I'm going to show you how this works. We're going to start with step 1. So the first thing you want to do is you want to put your cup underneath, and then you want to lift the carriage. Now we're going to place this inside, and like I told you, this is step 1, and we're going to close this down. And when we do, our options pop up here onto the screen. This is a cafe product, so we're going to hit the cafe button, and when you do, you see that it says step 1 and froth. That's what we're going to do first. Now when I tell it to start, I want you to look at the cup to see. I'm using a dark cup because I want you to be able to see what's coming out. And we're going to make this a 4 ounce. Oh, it's 4 ounces, and it stays at 4 ounces because this is the froth. You don't change it. It's going to brew 4 ounces of the frothiness. Okay, so here we go. It's cool. It's like having a Starbucks in your kitchen. It's pretty neat. So that's 4 ounces of the frothiness. And then if you come back up here, you saw that it was frothing 4 ounces. And this will go away when it's done. There it is. Now it's telling us to move on to step 2. So we're going to lift the carriage again. Take that one out. And put in step 2, which is the Italian roast coffee. We're going to close the lid down, and it's going to open back up for us here and let us decide on our size this time. And if it's already going to be strong, that's the default. You can tell it you don't want it strong, but since this is a cappuccino, we're going to keep it on strong. And I'm going to tell it 6 ounces this time because it's a bigger cup of cappuccino. And then we just hit the brew button. This one seems to me that it brews slower. I think the reason for that is because we're brewing it a strong coffee, so we want to steep it longer. So I feel like, and I'm not sure about this, but I feel like the water may stay in the Vue cup a little bit longer so that it'll be a stronger coffee. So, and I know it's dripping, but I'm going to pull it away because I want to show you, and if it drips, I'll clean it up. This is the frothiness on top, the coffee is inside, and that is the cappuccino. How easy is that? I mean, that's just an easy way to brew cappuccino for yourself. Okay, the last feature I want to show you, or the last way to use the machine, and there's plenty other features. If you get your own, you need to play with it and check it out. But the last thing I want to show you is how to use the hot water feature. Now, I told you earlier that you can kind of trick the machine into thinking that you have something in there. Basically, what you do is you lift the carriage and close it down without putting anything in it. And when you do, it pops up here. Now, all you want to do, I'm going to make some oatmeal tonight. This is the oatmeal. This is just 1 pack of instant oatmeal here. And I'm going to take this setting, and I want to put it to 4 ounces because I definitely don't need more than 4 ounces of hot water. I'm going to leave it on coffee because that's not a problem, and it's ready to brew. So you take your bowl and you slide it as far under as you can, and then press brew. I think this is perfect for breakfast in the morning for the kids. I mean, you can see that there's hot water and it's splashy, so you don't want little kids, especially if they're eye level to the counter, to do this. But you have older kids that could certainly make their own oatmeal this way. Also, if you think about it, those pack of noodles and things like that, this would be perfect for those kind of noodle soups that you just add hot water, or you know, any of those kind of things. So this would be oatmeal. And surely, you know, you want to let this sit so that it can fluff up, but that's oatmeal that quick and easy. Now, something else that I really like about this machine is the boxes that the Vue cups come in. I think this is really cool. These are so pretty to look at that I don't even mind having them on my counter. And not everybody may feel this way, but the pictures are pretty and I just like them. If you look at the older box, the way it used to be, this is actually the hot chocolate from the original Keurig that I had, and this one is the Vue. So look at the difference. You can see why you wouldn't mind having this one on your counter. Now, of course, you don't have to do that. I also want to show you this, where this one you tear the lid off, you know, for the most part. This one, you lift the lid, and it kind of reveals the product like that. It's pretty neat. It's like a canister for the product. So what I have done on my counter, and you don't have to do this, but this is what I did. I kind of displayed them like this next to the machine because I just think they look really cool. So that's the boxes. That's the product. And for my recommendation, I love this machine. I can't say enough about it. And like I said, I was chosen from House Party, so I did not spend my money on this product. It was given to me to review and have my friends review, and I appreciate that very much. And I just tell you guys, if you're interested in a machine that does a lot more than just brew hot drinks, this one will brew hot drinks, cold drinks, and even cereals and breakfast things for you. So check it out. You can find it at Keurig.com. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.